time bending, speed running, and achieving flow state. These are my best tips that I can give you to really master your time in university. And these are all tips that I took because I was once a stupid 18-year-old who went to university and did really poorly in my grades. But eventually, as the years went along, as my head got screwed on right, I actually figured out how to do really well. So I went from a 65 average to a 90 plus average in my final years of my nursing degree. So what did I do? The first thing we're going to go over is time bending. And time bending is really dumb because it's super simple, but I just gave it like this cool, crazy name. But time bending is when you basically, now stay with me, this is not mind-blowing shit, is when you change the dates of when things are due at university. And no, I don't mean like hacking into the syllabus or like confusing your prof by changing all the clocks in the university or whatever. No, nothing like that. I'm not saying that. I mean changing it just in your own calendar. Like you look at the syllabus, and when you see assignments are due on a certain day, you actually change it so that it is due on the day before, at least. I say due at least the day before. That way, when everybody else is stressing out the night before or the day before the assignment's actually due, you already finished it. And that feels really good. It feels really good to be done something when everybody's still like balls to walls, like getting super scared, getting anxious, starting to cram, starting to stay up late, and really just stress out about dumb shit. University does not have to be stressful. University can be fun. It can be you going out to parties, you studying hard, and you meeting new people, having cool experiences, first-time experiences, especially when you're young and you're like moving into a new place. And there's so much cool things to do. And so don't let school stress you out. Just do it right by doing it the easiest way. So if you followed along with the videos that I make in this Unimax course, I'm trying to show you how to do this the best way you can so you do not have to miss out on the parties, the dating, the people you meet, the sports and the activities that you're going to be doing, instead of just like being locked up in the library all the time. You don't have to do this kind of stuff. If you want to speed run it, listen to me, all right? So time bending, changing the dates of all your assignments and everything to be a day before. I'm not saying change the date of the test because honestly, you're going to sleep like shit before a test anyways. So if you're going to sleep like shit before a test, even when you're well prepared, then it's okay to just have that on the right day. But projects, things like that, change the date on them. And if you are in a group project, because this is where things get screwed up, you have to take leadership. You have to become the person that says, all right, y'all, we're doing this thing and we're going to do it. And we're going to do a strict timetable of getting this done a day before it's actually due. That way, nobody stresses out. That way, nobody can slack. And you have to stay on top of people, not micromanage people, but just tell people, hey, this is the deadline. We're doing a different deadline because I do not want to stress out about this shit. Let's just get this done. You don't have to be the smartest person in the group to do this. You just got to be the leader. And that's what the leader does. They just takes things into their own hands and shows people how to do something. And by doing that, you get a good grade and you finish stuff and you don't worry about stressing out, cramming, finishing something, and then having, bad things happen to you, your computer resetting and losing all your information. So have it due a day before, okay? Because if you've done it a day before and something does crazy happen, like where your computer just like shuts off, you get like a LimeWire virus, then you at least remember most of this stuff and the people in your group can all piece it all together and create it again. So that's time bending, super simple. The second thing is speed running. And I like to do speed running of not only assignments, but speed running of review and study. So if you are smart, you will kind of read the textbook before the next class or the lecture slides before the next class. That's what I did. And to do it consistently, you have to do it fast. And by fast, I mean skimming it. And skimming it is one of these skills that like, people will either be like, that's bullshit, you can't skim and stuff, do like that. But like you absolutely can. You can learn how to speed read. I recommend it to everybody, but Jim Quick's Limitless book taught me how to speed read. And if you can start speed reading, you can get through textbooks front to back every single semester, every single one that you got. Textbooks are filled with a bunch of garbage, okay? And by garbage, I mean probably useful information, but big words, new words that you don't really know. And it's all just overcomplicated. There's so much fluff, so much bullshit, just so they can package this up into this fucking 20-pound brick that is supposed to make you pay $300 for and also overwhelm you. You do not need to do this. Skim it. With AI now, you could probably do this even faster, but with speed reading, you just skim, and as you get better, you can recognize what's important, what's not important. And then if you have a really good grasp on the syllabus and have talked to your professors, talked to TAs and been like, hey, what's going to actually be on the test? Then you'll know what to look for and you prime your brain for that. So that is speed running. And so speed running is skimming the books and reading and getting the knowledge as fast as you can. The right stuff, not the bullshit fluff stuff. Okay? And in terms of assignments, like if you're doing like an essay or any project at all, I recommend like as soon as you get the project or you know what you're going to do, with AI, I would just legit voice record something and transcribe what your answers would be to that thing. And then that way you can literally have it on your computer to just be like, well, I think the answer to this question is blah, 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 blah. You talk for like a paragraph or however long, and then it transcribes it for you. And then you can probably use AI to sift it out, make an outline, do things like that. But the fact that you got anything down and you've already started spitballing is going to make it so much easier. Because people try to do stuff where they're like, I'm going to just make it perfect the first time. When in reality, you just got to make more and more drafts. And the quicker you get that first iteration, that first draft down, the easier it's going to be. It's way easier to edit something when there's already stuff kind of outlined. So whatever's on the top of the dome, just spit it out, get it out, and then work from there. Instead of you trying to make it perfect. And like everyone's seen that SpongeBob where it's just like, he's like working so hard on something and he just like makes that really like colorful first letter of that page. You know how they would in like old fairy tale books and stuff like that. Anyways, I digress. So that is speedrunning. And the last thing is achieving flow state. And to achieve flow state, I've made so many videos on this, but in university, the easiest things that you can do are, number one, you have to just get rid of all your distractions. So if you're on your computer, cut out all the tabs, all your YouTube, all the other bullshit tabs for different classes, just the tabs that you need for the class that you're currently in, the thing that you're currently focusing on. So it might be your textbook and it might be your assignment. Those are the only two tabs that are open. There are extensions where you can do it so it actually blocks those things. And then the next thing that you do is you turn off your phone, you put your phone away. You don't need that shit anywhere close to you. You get enough screen time. You don't need it for like the hour it's going to take you to do the assignment. And then after that, you sit down. You can put some headphones in if you want to, though you got to find the right playlist that actually gets you going and like to study and not actually just like bobbing your head and having a good time, having like that main character energy. So that's what you got to do. And then the third and most important thing about achieving flow state is you got to set a timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes is the absolute minimum it takes for you to actually get into something, to prime your brain, to get ready to do something consistently, to get the momentum. When I'm going out for a run, the first 15 minutes are the hardest part, but I know as soon as I stick it through that 15 minutes, it's easy. It's easy going. And that's like with assignments. That's with reading. If you do anything for 15 minutes, then you finally settle into something and you can actually get going. But that first 15 minutes is you just like trying to talk yourself out of it. And that's what happens. So if you can not do this, if you can set the timer and do bare minimum 15 minutes and continue to carry on, then ride that wave. You need 15 minutes to build up the momentum, to build into that flow state. And once you get there, then you just keep going. And then you go until basically you're tired. People like to do Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes, 5 minutes off, things like that. But honestly, if you've got momentum, you might as well just keep ripping through. You might even be able to finish it even faster just because you're in that flow state. So those are my 3 best tips that I can give you for finishing assignments on time, not ever cramming for school, and just like getting down to studying and getting like focused and into flow state. So I hope that helps you. I hope you are excited for university because it's an awesome time and you're going to have a lot of fun if you do it right. If you work hard, you can also play hard. So like, subscribe. Always remember to rep the set. I'll see you in the next one.